Hello, everyone. It's Erica here from Me To You Paper Crafts. I'm trying to set up my iPad. I'll be with you in just 1 second. Welcome to day 2 of my virtual catalog walkthrough or walkabout. And yes, okay, I can see myself live. I just need to turn off my other volume here. There we go. Okay. How is everyone today? Welcome, welcome. So today, yesterday I mentioned that I was going to set up my new glass mat. So I have it all set up and I'm going to talk a little bit about it and how you can get one for free. Okay. And there's a bit of a catch, but it's not really a catch. Good morning, Sharon, or good afternoon, Sharon. I'm so used to going live in the morning. Now it's the afternoon. So welcome. So today we're actually going to be playing with the Adoring Hearts bundle. This is in our new mini catalog, and it's a really sweet stamp set. And don't get dissuaded thinking it's just for Valentine's Day. Yes, it's come out in time for Valentine's Day, but hearts are all occasion. Hearts can be happy birthday, congratulations. You can use them for anniversaries. You can use them for new babies. You can use them for your kids, just sending them a little love in their lunchbox, make little 3x3 note cards. And so it's all occasions, really. And yeah, it's got some good greetings in it. Okay, so when I turn my camera down, I'll show that to you. And it also comes bundled. If you want to buy the bundle, it comes bundled with a hybrid embossing folder. And I'll talk to you about what a hybrid embossing folder is when we get started. So I'm going to turn my camera down. There's nobody else joining right now. You're welcome to watch the replay. Don't forget to comment to be entered into a grand prize at the end, which will be a gift certificate to shop my online store. All right, so let's move to my other view so you can see my desktop. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the glass mat first, and then I'm going to tell you how you can get it for free. All right. So this is it, the Stampin' Up! Glass mat. Let me just raise my camera up a little bit higher and adjust my camera here. There we go. And I'm going to pull it back a bit. And I'll pull it the other way. There we go. So I want you to see the whole thing if you can. Okay, so this is it. My hands are showing you the sides of the glass mat. So it's actually 17 inches in length or width by 14 inches wide. And it has Stampin' Up's lovely floral design on here. So this is a tempered glass mat. And I'm going to turn off this other light because I've got some rings showing here. There we go. So it's got your full grid. So it kind of replaces the paper grid mats. You can certainly use them on top of this. But it's got your imperial measurements at the bottom and along the side, like it does on the grid sheets. And it's got metric along the top and along the other side. Okay, so if you like to work in metric measurements, you've got that, or you can use imperial measurements. It's tempered glass. It's it's scratch proof to a certain point. It's tempered glass. So it's, if you have a glass stove top, I have a glass stove top. It's black, mind you, but it's tempered glass. And I mean, it does scratch over time, but when you're cooking, it's pretty heavy duty use on that glass top. On this one, it shouldn't be too bad. But what's wonderful about this is that you can do all kinds of inking. Like you could take a stamp pad, you could smush it into the glass mat, spritz it with some water, lay some cardstock on top of it. You can do all kinds of inking techniques with this. And over the next few weeks, I'll be doing a lot of techniques with that. Now, it also comes with a little paint tray, okay? And it sticks, so it will not move on here. It's just fantastic. It doesn't move. Now, what's great about this is that you can mix up some inks in here. So you can take your reinkers, throw them in these spots to do some watercoloring. Or what's fantastic even more is it fits our ink spot. So if you're a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you get an ink spot every kit pretty well. And these will just stick in here. So when you go to pick up the color, it doesn't move. Normally you're chasing it around your desk, but the ink spots will stay perfectly in place, which is great. And then this part could hold embellishments or whatever you're working on at the time. Okay. And the other thing you can do is you can also mix color on here. So again, I mean, you could take this ink spot, for example, and you could just smush it into the glass mat, and then you could put some watercolor, use your watercolor painters, pick up the ink, and then start doing your coloring. Okay. Now, the other thing it comes with, now that I've made a mess here, the other thing it comes with is this, mat. So it's a similar material to our stamping mat, our purple stamping mat or cleaning mat. I don't remember what it's really called, but it's a purple cleaning mat, and you just wet it with water. And then when you're finished with a stamp, you just rub it on it and it cleans up your stamp. But this is a bigger, more pliable cloth. And so you can just wipe off any of the ink. Now this will stain, of course, over time, just like our other mat does. And so you can clean up, you know, pretty well anything. So it's pretty handy. And then you just rinse it out and reuse it. Okay. So that's what it comes with. So that's everything that comes with this tray. Now you can get this if you join Stampin' Up. You can join my team of gals. And so it's a Sale-a-Bration offer that is only good until the end of February. So we've got a leap year this year. The 29th of February is the end date for the join offer. And you've got a couple of options. Let me just pull my camera down closer now. You've got a couple of options here. You can get the Stampin' Glass Mat Studio. So it has a retail value of $82. You cannot get it any other way. Now, I want to say at the moment, typically when Stampin' Up offers a tool with their join promotion, it never comes back. So for example, a couple of years ago, they came out with this cute little mini cutter as a join offer. Well, it's never come back. You cannot get this, and you just can't get it anymore at all. So after you've joined, when you're demonstrator, there may be an opportunity to get it. Sometimes they bring it back so that you can order it, but then it's here for a short time and then it's gone. So the only time to get these really unique tools is to join. Okay. And joining simply means, it doesn't mean you do what I do, doesn't mean you have to teach classes, doesn't mean you have to do videos. It just means you get a discount on all Stampin' Up products. And when you join to start, it's 20% off. That's why I joined, was to just get products cheaper and not have to wait for sales. Okay. So you can get this for free. So what you do is you pay $135 to join. You really get $165 of free products within that. So you pay $135, but you get $165 worth of free products. You can pick from any of our current catalogs. Doesn't matter what you pick. You can pick whatever you want. It includes shipping. That's really important. It includes shipping. So you don't have to pay extra for shipping because it comes in a big box. Plus, once you pay $135, you will get this Glass Mat Studio for free. Okay. Or you can pay $135, get $165 worth of products, plus you can then get an additional $41 in free product. Now, if you look at the free value, the Stampin' Glass Mat Studio is $82 and you get $41. So this is really the better value if you want the glass mat. So that's kind of how that works. If you have any questions, you can message me and I will let you know. I'm also available to help you if you're brand new to stamping. I can help you pick some basic products to get you started as well. Okay, enough of that. Okay, So let's take a look at this stamp set, Adoring Hearts. And again, when I do organizational, usually when I do these videos, I like to give you organizational tips. So I have the stamp set, and I have a handheld label maker, and so I will put what else comes with this. So this comes with a hybrid embossing folder, okay? There's also a free Sale-a-Bration item that coordinates with this. So yesterday I went through on how the coordination products work. So basically this is our Sale-a-Bration brochure. And I advise that you look through this to find the freebies, because with a minimum $60 order, you get to pick something for free. So if you looked at this and you went, wow, that paper, I have to make some Valentine's cards, or I've got some little treat packaging I want to make for my kids' class. Look at that free paper. You get 12 sheets, 2 each of 6 double-sided designs. That's pretty good value. So all I have to do is purchase for $60 and I can get that for free. Then you want to watch where it says coordinates with. So this coordinates with the Adoring Hearts bundle. It will tell you the page number. When it says JA, that means January to April mini catalog. That's this catalog here. So you look at this and you go, wow, I could cut out all of these little hearts. And it's got lots of kind of heart-related stuff. Okay, so that's how I work the catalog. I look at the free stuff, and then I look for anything that coordinates with it. And I also kind of think, what else do I have in my stash that coordinates with it? And I'm sure you'll find lots of stuff. Okay, now this also comes as a bundle, comes with this embossing folder. So you can simply put in a piece of cardstock and run it through and get an emboss. So it could be a nice background for you. If you want to cut them out, then you put it in your paper, and then you add this die cut piece. Okay, so you add this to the left or the right side, depending on whether you want it embossed or debossed. And I would suggest you cut 2 samples so that you can see the difference. But as you move it around, it will sit in place. You'll put your piece of paper in, and then you'll get your what am I trying to say? Your cutout images. So here's an example. I've got some old red cardstock here. This is really old stock of cardstock. So you want to cut your cardstock to 6 by 6. Okay. Now, if you're this on this side, the images are a little tricky because there's embossed and debossed as part of the image. So it just depends on what you get. So I'm going to run it twice and see the difference. So on this one, I've got the cardstock on the right side and the die on the left side. Okay, I'm going to close it up. Okay, now the sandwich that you want is your base plate, and you need the embossing plate. If you've got our stamp and cut and emboss machine, this is your sandwich. Okay, you need your base plate. Then you need your embossing folder with the cardstock inside. And I've got my fold at the top here, so that I'm going to run it through the machine like that. And then I need this plate number 4, which is our embossing plate. And then you run it through. So let's have a look. All right. So I'm going to make a note here on a piece of paper. Okay. So cardstock on right. Now you can't say right or left, because if you flip this around, it could be right or left. So cardstock on the, you see how on this side of the, on this side of the folder, you see how there's the Stampin' Up! Logo? So we've got cardstock on non-logo side. And we've got the die on the logo side. So you can make yourself like a little reminder chart. So what you get then is all of these are embossed. Okay, you get all of these beautiful heart pieces. Now, don't throw this away because look, this background is also embossed with tons of little tiny hearts. So you could create a 6x6 card in this example, or you could trim this down. Then you could do another pass through to make these hearts, say in white, and then you could fit them back in here. So there's another idea. Okay, you could even, cut just around that to get little squares and put a white one inside. So you get a red little border and then make a card out of that. Because this has got all beautiful embossed cards on here. Okay, so these are all embossed. Okay, there's a big difference between embossed and debossed. Okay, so this is, you could use either side. You see the difference? You see how this is embossed because the images are sticking up, and this is the images are pressed down. That's the difference between the two. Okay. All right, so I've got all these beautiful hearts that I can use either way. So I don't think now with my experimentation, because I haven't played with this one yet, but let's do another pass through and do it the opposite way. I think we're going to get the same result. So we're going to do cardstock on logo side. So I have another piece of 6x6 here. So cardstock on the logo side. Okay, and we're going to put the die on this side. And this should also, there it is. It just folds into place, okay? So we're going to close this. Like so, and I'm going to run it through the machine again. All right, so let's work on a sample. So this heart with the leaves was the first pass, and this heart with the leaves is on the second pass. It's exactly the same. So result is, doesn't really matter which side that you put your dies or your paper. You're going to get the same thing. Okay, so there you go. You've got another sheet now with more of those hearts on there. Okay, just wanted to do that experiment to make sure I understood the process. So it really doesn't matter which side you put the dies on. When it will matter is when you decide to use ink to color the embossing folder and then add some color to your hearts. We're not going to do that today. We'll do that on another day. Okay. Now, also part of this set is you get, check this out, you get these absolutely gorgeous hearts here as well. These are really, really sweet. Now, what I'm not sure of, because I think these will cut out. So I'm going to go ahead and put these three on a piece of maybe white cardstock. And let's cut these out because we might use these on our card. I'm designing a card from scratch again today. But let's just throw these on a piece of basic white cardstock. Now I'm using my, this time I'm die cutting. So I'm using my base plate plus my cutting plate plus an acrylic plate plus an acrylic plate on top. That's my sandwich for this. Okay, I did it wrong. Hang on. I forgot it's the base plate, the cutting pad, an acrylic plate, paper, dies, and a top cutting plate. That's the sandwich. So here, I've got lots of red hearts to play with, just in time for Valentine's Day, I would say. So now, when you cut out these dies, look how sweet these are. This is what's left behind, and then you have a frame. Let me just grab my pokey tool here. So you have this beautiful, delicate heart. Look how pretty those are. Now imagine die cutting these with gold foil. The other fun thing is you can do these hearts, use this frame here, this die here, and you can cut cardstock, or you could also cut hearts out from your designer series paper. Okay, so we have these beautiful hearts that we can use. Okay, let me just scrape these bits off my plate. All right. And then you've also got a die that will just simply cut out a bunch of red hearts. That would be kind of fun. Let me do that as well. Let's just cut out some. I should have brought more red cardstock to my desk, but I'm just going to cut them out of white. I'm thinking of doing an all white card. I love white, white on white. Okay, so I'm just going to throw this die on a piece of basic white cardstock and run it through. All right, so now we've got some white little hearts. Okay. Then you have just some plain open hearts. So, for example, in the stamp set, you can die cut this heart out, and then you've got some additional little sprigs. So you can create this beautiful heart wreath, stamp that, and then you can add some little sprigs of foliage. So you've got 2 of each of those. You've got some multiple hearts to cut out, 2 large and 1 small. And then you've also got this greeting flag, which you could use to cut out one of the greetings. So one of the greetings is just for you, and it's a curvy shape. And I've got that already on here. So I'm going to do white. I don't know what I'm going to do. Let's just see. I'm just going to do a bunch of stuff. So I'm going to stamp. Now I need to grab a silicone mat. With the glass mat, you'll still need your silicone mat if you're using photopolymer stamps. So let's do this just for you. Okay. Now I'm going to lift my camera up. I think I'm a little out of. There we go. All right, so I just stamped Just For You. And I'm going to grab this die. Now, one suggestion is, you see how it's a solid die? I can't see through it. So I'm not sure that I even have this lined up. So for this particular die, I think it's better to die cut it out first and then stamp it. Because you're using clear stamps anyway, you'll be able to see right through the image. I'm not sure why they made, I think, well, I'll tell you why. Okay, so I was thinking this should have been just an outline, but you can also do a couple of flags and do them one on top of another. So you can have a solid flag and then your greeting. Follow me there. Okay, so let's do that again. So I can do this right on, just orient it the right way. There we go. So we have our little greeting ready to go. All right, let's put our card together. So I was going to do white on white, white on white. Hi, Judy. Google afternoon, one and all. Is that what you're really trying to say? Google? Have a Google day? That's too cute. Okay. Now I want to show you the freebie that you can earn. Let's set this aside. I think we're done with the embossing folder for now. Let me show you the freebie, which is the paper. I got the paper as a freebie. Wait till you see this paper. Yesterday's papers, one side of all the papers had gold. Today, it's the same thing. I think if you look at the catalogs, and what I'm sort of seeing right now is there is a lot of gold. Okay, now wait till you see these papers. These are amazing. 2 sheets of each. So you've got this beautiful gold, and these are multi-directional, which I always love for 3D projects. So if I make a bag, I don't have to worry which is the top or which is the bottom. So these flowers are just pointing in all different directions. Okay, so that's the one side of the paper. And then on the back, you've got this delicious, reminds me of sorbet, a delicious swirl of sorbet. I saw somebody make, there's an ice cream set in the mini catalog, and somebody made the ice cream out of this paper. They made it a swirly ice cream. Now you've got more swirls with gold, which is beautiful. Look at that. And then on the back, you've got this beautiful plaid. Now I was thinking about using this today. So I'm going to keep one sheet out. I love that plaid. Okay. Then you have a beautiful kind of a gingham, and it's got a texture to it. You'll feel it when you get it. It's got a bit of a texture to it. So this beautiful gingham. And then you've got these beautiful hearts on the back. And it's kind of, it's light and dark pink. It's kind of brushed or blended colors. Oh, and check these hearts. These are beautiful, these roses. Now, there's no die for these roses, but you could fussy cut them. And I'm wondering, in the catalog, there are some other kind of, I'll have to check that out. There are some other stamp sets that are roses, and they may have a die that cuts this out. I didn't look, but it's worth a look. They look like little cabbages too. But you could easily, because they've got a clear border, you could easily fussy cut these out. If you're lucky enough to have a scan and cut machine, you can cut them out. It's easier, the one sheet all at once. And then look at this. I love polka dots, but these are little hearts. Aren't they sweet? Krista, stippled roses, maybe. Yes, stippled roses, maybe. I'll have to have a look. I got that set. I'll have to take a look if there's a die that might cut these out. Be worth a look. And I think there's another set in there that's kind of roses as well. All right, now this is beautiful too. This is, again, what I consider a scrapbook layout. Often Stampin' Up! Has papers that sort of have a border, top and bottom. So you could use it as a scrapbook page. But the other wonderful thing is if you cut, again, these down in 4-inch columns and then cut them down to 5 1/4, you can get 6 cards out of this. And all you need is a simple greeting. I mean, how simple is that? Beautiful hearts. And on the back, another gingham. Look at that. I love that. Look at that. And while we're talking about gingham, I want to point out to you a background stamp that's in the annual catalog. I just got it because I didn't notice it. And it's just amazing. Plaid. You could I'm kind of doing a little side thing here. What do they call that? A squirrel moment, although it is stamping related. We have a new brayer in town too. It's really a better brayer than we had many, many years ago. It's like this heavy duty rubber brayer. And the wonderful thing about this is that it's got these little feet on here. So when you've inked it all up, you don't want to set it down on anything because it's got ink on it. But you can set it down on your, for example, your glass mat. And if you twirl it, you see it's not touching the bottom. It's not touching. So you won't get things inked when this is inked, right? So great new brayer. And a brayer, if you have any very large stamps or you have any of these, what we call background stamps, you can brayer this, ink it up, and then stamp it. And then you could die cut it. You could do, I mean, there's so many techniques. I will end my lifetime not finding out about all the techniques out there. But there you go. Now, when you brayer it, I'll do brayering another day. Let's not get too sidetracked from making our card, shall we? But I just wanted to point that out to you because you can make your own plaid paper. All right, so we took a look at this. We have one more sheet, one more pattern to look at. So now we've got this pattern. I love this. Reminds me of birch trees. So you've got this, and then on the back of that, you've got more little hearts. Now, there's some papers in this pack that I really like to use as backgrounds. I'm not crazy about the hearts per se, but I love the plaid. I love these hearts big time for backgrounds. Again, I'm not crazy about these little hearts as a background. So these papers that have the backgrounds that I don't care for, I'm definitely going to use the gold side. You kind of have to pick and choose. And then you've got this plaid, which I love. Okay, and with 2 sheets for each, you reserve one sheet for one side and reserve the other sheet for the other side. You know what I mean. I'm sure you know what I mean. All right, so let's start making a card. All right, I have a card base here. Now, this, while I'm talking about this mat, this piece here, let me just take these out of here. Now, you know you can purchase these uninked in the catalog. You get a little bag of them. You could use this, like I said before. I could put my dies in here so they don't get lost. I'm just giving you some other ideas as I think of them. I could put my little die cut pieces in here. I'll put these little white hearts in here. Then I could put all of these in here. Oh, these hearts are going to be great for decorating any number of things. And then I've got these little hearts that I can put in here. See, and this helps to keep you organized. And then I've got my little banner. Look at that. Okay, so that will just stick on there. All right, so let's think now. Okay, I have a card base here. I haven't yet scored it. So let me pull out my Stampin' Trimmer here. And let's give this a score at 4 1/4. So this is half a sheet of regular sized cardstock. And I'm going to score that. Then I'm going to fold it in half and match up my edges, and then I'm going to fold it. Okay. So one thought was to do a background, excuse me, a background on the card. Let's see. No, not directional, so I'm not worried about how I cut it. I always start with 4 by 4, or I mean 4-inch strips. And I'll go to 5 1/4. So 4 by 5 1/4. Okay. So whenever you cut a piece of designer series paper, you can think about running it through an embossing folder. You see, you could cut this paper out with just the plain hearts. So you could just take these hearts and place it on. You might want to get a 6 by 6 sheet, place all these, just this one framelit, and run that through. Just treat this as an individual framelit and cut all the hearts out of designer series paper. Or you could run them through the embossing folder and cut them out at the same time. So I was kind of thinking of doing something like this, but I was thinking that I might use a deckled frame. I just love all of our deckled frames that we have. So we have these the stitched. Hi, Christine. Nice of you to join us. So you have these beautiful stitched framelets. So I could just die cut this with the stitched framelit. I'd have to use a smaller size. Now that I've cut this down, I need to use a smaller size. Okay, so I could do that. I could also cut this out and just use the frame and build something on the inside. That's an idea. Or you could use the deckled dies to cut the frame. So I might cut a frame out. Let's give this some thought. I might die cut just this as a frame. So let's position this in the center as best we can. That looks pretty good. You can use your grid lines here. So if you line up your paper on the glass mat where the grid is, it helps you to do everything, keep everything straight. So it's a bit slippery, so you might want to use some Post-it notes or something to hold it down. But I think that looks pretty good. So let me just pull out my tape here. Let's run this through. All right, so now I've run this through, and this tape is fantastic. It does not peel off the paper. Peel up your paper. Okay, so now we have two pieces. So I could use this on the outside to create a frame. And then we could just do some random hearts in here. Just like that. And then we have our greeting. Real simple. Okay. The other thing we could do, if you want to dress it up a little bit, we could actually emboss the front of our card so that the front of the card has embossing, and then it gives a better background. Now, another option is we could do the red. So here we could just make two cards, and then we could use these lovely, beautiful, these are gorgeous hearts here. We could turn it landscape, and we could run them this way. Okay, with just for you. Just real simple cards. We could even scatter some of these little hearts. Now watch your die cuts. There's definitely a right and a wrong side. So we could scatter these as if they're little embellishments. Like that. I like that. I like that a lot. So maybe we'll make two cards, shall we? Let's go for it. Okay, we're going to do this one. So I'm going to have to cut out another just for you. But let's do this. So where's my tape runner? I put a brand new tape in yesterday. And where is my silicone mat? You don't want to get a whole bunch of glue on your glass mat, although it will come off with alcohol, not a problem. So let's glue this. So we're going to do this as a horizontal card. So let's see if we can get this centered as best I can. Okay, then we're going to do these. Now, sadly, I'm not a big fan of our adhesive sheets, but boy, they would be ideal for this project here. Right? I think that just for you, I'm going to put the mini dimensionals on there. And let's just scatter our hearts around. So is everyone enjoying? Have you purchased some products yet? Or do you have a wish list? You can let me know in the comments what you've got on your wish list or what you've already purchased, or maybe that's too much. Maybe right now what you're currently working with. Okay, I'm not ready to put that on yet. Okay, now I purchased some of these mini bottles on Amazon, and I have put, these are these mini bottles that you can get, and they're really great because you can put your Tombow glue in here and get a fine tip. Now, sometimes it will clog up and you might have to, let's just see if it's going to come out. Yeah, it's coming out, so we're lucky. So I'm just going to put a couple of little dots of glue on here where I can. And I'm going to use my tweezers. They're not just for eyebrows, ladies. And let's just put these on here. And some, I've picked 3 different, yeah, there was 3 different, is there 3 or 4? I think there's 4 different patterns. Yes, there's a 4th one I didn't do. Yeah, there's 4 dies. Let's do one more heart. Put this one on straight. Okay, and then we'll do our little itty bitty hearts. Now, this would be great. You could die cut a whole bunch of these in a whole bunch of different colors and use it as confetti in a confetti card. What I've done, people hate me for it, but what I often do is throw confetti inside the card in the envelope. And then when the recipient opens that envelope and opens the card, the confetti falls out on their lap and on their floor. That is so fun to do, especially for kids. They would love that, I think. Now, where do I want to put my greeting on here? Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to put it on the side. And then there's my greeting. So look how simple that was. It's kind of fun to prepare your elements, stamp things, cut them out, just, you know, put them on a little tray like this, and then just create from there. So there you go. It's as simple as it gets. I might throw some pearls on there. So simple. All right, let's see what people are saying. Wow, the options. You're right. You just ordered this bundle today, Krista. Good for you. You're playing with the B bundle now. That's a fabulous bundle. I played with it a lot when I first got it. I need to get back into it. Christine's asking questions about, first of all, how do you get the Tombow lids off? I use a pair of pliers. Are they called pliers? I'll show you what I use. I keep them in my craft room. These things. Are these pliers? No, it's a wrench. Is it a wrench? I should know my tools. I think it's a wrench. Yeah, I use this, and then I just pop it off, squeeze it and pop it off, and then I put it back on using that, okay? And then to get it into the bottle, it's a fairly wide mouth bottle. I just recently picked up some mini funnels so I could just let it drip in there. It can be a bit of a challenge to get the glue in there. You have to be really patient. You want to make sure that you don't, let me just show you, that you don't insert this into the bottle. You have to lift it up a bit so that you release the airlock. You need air going in at the same time as the glue. I pushed it down and kept squeezing and it just started to back up out of it, so that didn't work. So yeah, there's a way to do it. There's lots of videos out there you could have a look at to see how other people do it. But yeah. But these bottles are great because this cap, they don't clog. They're really great. They just don't clog. All right, so there's card number 1. Now let's do the second card. What time are we at? I don't want to keep you more than an hour. Oh, we're almost at 2 o'clock. Okay, I will do the second card and I will post. I'm going to do the second card with this frame and I'm going to use some of these hearts. And I'll finish decorating the inside and I'll do some envelopes and then I'll post all the photos in a new post this afternoon. So thanks so much for watching. And hope to see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock with another walkabout in the catalog. We might do some brayering tomorrow. Not sure. I like to keep it a surprise for myself. It's always a surprise for myself what I'm doing. All right. Thank you, ladies. And I will hopefully see you tomorrow. And I keep forgetting. I'm terrible at this. Here I am. There was a demonstrator the other day and she said, oh, I can see my face, but where's the button? Where's the button? And you can see her looking everywhere for the button. She just can't find the button, you know, but I know where the button is. I just forget to use it. Okay, what's Judy saying? I take the rubber stopper off the bottom of the Tombow and carefully let it drip into the little bottle. Yeah, you need to let it, you kind of need to let it drip. You're right. You can't force it in there. It's like filling up any bottle. Like I have a liquid detergent, dishwashing detergent bottle on my counter. And I have a funnel that I use to take, because we buy the dish liquid from Costco. And I don't want to stand there because the other bottle has got a really narrow opening. So I take my funnel, rest it in there, throw a bunch in, walk away, come back, fill up the funnel again, walk away. So if you can find yourself a tiny little funnel to fill your bottle, you could do it that way, or just, you know, hold the bottle and let it drip. Once it gets going, I bet it drips pretty quick. All right, ladies, I've kept you long enough. Go and enjoy your afternoon, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.